تفضلي أنا مسجل فيديو.
Our report talks about the impact of students' learning, self-responsibility, and use teaching methods on both the educational attainment and the quality of distance learning. This report focuses on studying certain aspects of this process. These aspects include the teaching styles that are being used by instructors, the learning tools and methods used by students, and students' time management skills. As soon as the COVID-19 virus started spreading across the world, An-Najah National University started preparing all facilities and students to switch from traditional learning into distance learning in order to continue the educational process. At the beginning, they faced many technical issues and has received complaints from its students for all the difficulties they have faced.
Van der Waal said that successful online learning requires a reconstruction of the roles, responsibilities, and practices of online instructors and their online students. It is essential to understand the dynamics of online learning environments in the perceptions and preconceptions that exist, and how to best utilize the potential of current technology to overcome barriers to successful learning. This is the idea that An-Najah National University has followed in their first steps of planning a strategy that would smooth out the learning process for both instructors and students. So at the beginning of the pandemic and the lockdown, an MIS student, Oais Lebi, has interviewed the administrator of the university's e-learning center in order to walk in new students through the first steps of switching from traditional learning to distance e-learning. Dr. Saida Affoune has stated that the university's first steps were as follows. So the first step was making instruction videos to train both students and teachers to use different technological tools. They have also contacted Paltel to provide students and teachers with special offers on internet services, and they provided students in need with laptops and other devices to help them continue the ongoing semester. They have also provided several contacting tools in order to allow students to contact the e-learning center for any technical issues, like during lectures, during exams. They have also upgraded the university's infrastructure and servers in order to prevent Zagil or Moodle, the university's official website, from bugging. The university also bought a premium Zoom membership to provide unlimited time for ongoing lectures. They also added a new feature called the Big Blue Button on Moodle as a tool for instructors to give real-time lectures. For our report, we wanted to study certain aspects of e-learning and whether it affected the overall quality of the education, as well as the students' educational attainment. So we started by doing research over the teaching styles and methods being used. Learning styles play a vital role in students' learning process. Choosing the right style allows teachers to deliver information in the most effective and useful way possible. So during our research, we read about different types of teaching style classifications. However, we found that the active-passive classification is the most suitable regarding our current situation at NNU. So the passive teaching, also known as the lecture style, is considered the traditional approach for learning. Professors tend to deliver lectures for majority of time, and there is little opportunity for student input through discussion. A guy named Darren used a great metaphor to represent passive teaching, which was with passive learning, the student is viewed as an empty receptacle of knowledge that the teacher must fill in with his knowledge. So he viewed the student as an empty space that
يعني بالعربي بده يعبي هالسطل.
بالضبط. So active teaching.
بده يعبي هالسطل.
Active teaching, however, allows students to engage in class and are held accountable for their own learning. This type of learning gives students the freedom of expressing their ideas and makes classes more fun. Darren also said that active learning is derived from the philosophy of constructivism. Constructivism is the belief that students use their current knowledge to build new understanding, unlike passive teaching.
So the teacher in that case, constructivism, we don't talk about teachers, we talk about constructors. Because the teacher's role is to help the student construct knowledge. So that's when I said we switch the name from teacher to constructor. Sorry, from teacher to instructor to constructor. فالأستاذ بصير اسمه constructor, facilitator. Helps the student learn by helping them construct their own knowledge. Hello, Sarah, continue.
For further research, we have created an online form and asked students from different majors to answer some questions. One section of the form had 3 major questions regarding the teaching style. The first question was, what learning style do professors mostly use during their courses? So the responses was 51.5% answered passive, and the other 48.5% answered active. However, when we asked the second question...
Sarah, I would like, can I ask you, Sarah, the responses are from students from which department, which faculty? The respondents.
Public relations, وفي هندسة, and also MIS students. We focused on...
We focused on what?
MIS students. But we also asked studying PR to answer the questions.
PR students.
Yes.
Public relations. And their answer, I see from the graph that you have 84.8, like 85% almost.
They preferred...
This had a slide.
Most students prefer
their preferences.
Yes.
Active learning, but actual, I'm talking about the actual learning in class. Was it active or passive?
It was passive. 51.5% answered passive.
So that's what we were talking about, like with Jinan and Layla and the other students in their presentation. And now we have a problem with the teaching style. It's mostly passive. صح?
Yes, they should design the education experiences that fits the needs and objectives of their students, and not only like the traditional.
So the barriers, العوائق, the barriers to switch for e-learning or distant learning عن بعد, it's not only technical problems.
Yes.
It's the educational design, how to teach.
Exactly.
To teach in a passive or passive or like collaborative, interactive. And instead of active, you should write interactive, collaborative learning.
Yes.
Okay, next slide, please.
Okay. We also asked them why did they prefer that particular style. The students that answered active, they said that this type of teaching helps them link information together. It also activates their memory and reduces inactivity. It's also, they found it a faster way of delivering information and not as boring as passive. However,
بزهق. It's not التعلم هذاك بزهقش، هذا فعال، نشط، حلو.
بالضبط يعني
It's not boring. It's not boring. It's not dull.
الباسيف بيكون إنه ممكن طالب يكون مركز أولها بس بعدين ممكن يسهب، بس بالمقابل لو كان أكتف يعني حيضله في تفاعل، حيضله في discussion، حيضله في debates بالموضوع.
Okay. So passive learning requires less time.
It provides an organized representation of the material. It also allows lecture notes to be used and reused, unlike the active that comes on the spot.
يعني allow me to just to say I don't agree with that slide.
Which one?
أنا ما بوافق في هذه slides totally. I don't totally agree with that slide. Okay, كملي اللي بعده.
Those were the
That doesn't mean
and not my like not our conclusions.
Okay. Good.
Due to another aspect that we have studied is the effect of students learning self-responsibility on his personal educational achievement. Due to current circumstances, NNU was required to go completely online in a short period of time. Just like the university's administration and faculty, students had to quickly adjust to the ongoing circumstances and create a plan not just to get through the semester, but also to get the best out of the situation. For e-learning initiatives to succeed, organizations and educational institutions must understand the benefits and limitations of different e-learning techniques and methods. Two basic types of e-learning are commonly compared are asynchronous and synchronous.
Synchronous and asynchronous. Good.
Yes, asynchronous.
Yeah.
Okay. So synchronous learning classes occur during scheduled time periods, which include scheduled online lectures and classes, presentations and discussions. In synchronous learning, both the students and instructors must be online at the exact same time in order to participate. Asynchronous learning, however, allows students to study during their own preferred time. It allows students to access different learning resources and not just depend on online lectures given to them by their instructors. This enables them to expand of knowledge and not just depend on specific source of information.
So it's open.
Yes. And
it's not limited.
Helps them expand their frame of knowledge. It doesn't only depend on source of information or one source of
one specific textbook. One specific textbook. No. نقيد حالنا بين جلدتي كتاب. لا. Okay. So that's the beauty of technology.
Technology plays an important role in evolving the students' area of research. Students should take advantage of their access to unlimited learning resources and use it in increasing their academic achievements.
Okay, so if you don't limit students to a specific text or file, and you give them open resources, research, the framework of their knowledge will expand.
Yes. Another aspect is time management. Time management is a very important aspect, and it may actually affect overall performance and achievements. It is a priceless resource and continues to pass by without coming back. The secret to success in life is effectively managing this resource that everyone possesses equally. Each student should have the skills and ability to manage their time according to their priorities and goals. There is no one right way to manage your time. However, it is important to get to know yourself in order to make good decisions about how to use your time efficiently. There is a golden rule in this picture that you have to plan to make time your partner and not your opponent. Okay. We created we added some questions in our form that asked students how much time do they spend studying during a week, and those were the results. Most students answered less than 5 hours. So this shows how students mostly manage their time. We also asked them what tools they use for studying and understanding their courses. The results came out equal, but we realized that most students don't use resources like Google, YouTube, and other tools. They depend mostly on recorded lectures and live online lectures. We discovered this by looking at individual responses and not the overall summary.
Okay.
Assessment methods and mechanisms. Assessment is a crucial process in education. Therefore, it's important for e-learning systems to create an e-assessment system that is compatible with the evolving industry. To be valid, assessment should be consistent with the intended objectives of the course. The use of technological tools to facilitate assessment is still a challenge that most learning institutions still face. An-Najah University has been facing multiple issues regarding this matter. They are still trying to figure out the perfect tools and methods to fairly evaluate students, prevent cheating, and make sure that students have reached the required outcomes that allows them to pass the course. An-Najah National University instructors tend to use tools such as online tests, oral quizzes, discussions, assignments, and researches. They try to use several assessment tools and methods to help them fairly evaluate different aspects of the students' learning outcomes. The university has also kept in mind the students' best interest and has given the students the right to choose whether they want their obtained grades counted as a part of their GPS or pass or fail courses without having their GPS affected at all. A major issue.
So Dalia, can I ask you?
Yes.
Can I ask you, Dalia, go back to that slide, please? When you said An-Najah National University instructors, you mean constructors اللي بيبنوا المعرفة? They have these options to evaluate and assess those students. So which one, can you elaborate on like online testing or quizzes وهيك? Which one is most effective, you think?
Assignments. Research. يعني لما نعمل assignment.
Assignments and research it's most effective.
Yes.
But like, hello. What about the oral quizzes or the oral assessment?
بحس الاسايمنت والريسيرش انه هم احسن شيء لانه بخليني مثلا افتح ادور على اكثر من موقع اقرا اكثر من شيء فهيك بستفيد اكثر هيك بحس.
Yeah, it give you more time to think back and research.
بالضبط.
But okay.
كمل.
Yes, please.
A major issue the university has faced is being able to prevent students from cheating and plagiarizing. They come up with multiple solutions, such as using the Turnitin application and minimizing the given time during tests and quizzes. During our survey, we have included some questions to help us gather the students' opinions around this particular matter, and the responses we got was as follows. The question was, which evaluation methods would you prefer more for the process of calculating your course grade? And most of the students, they preferred the quizzes and assignments rather than taking first and second and final exam.
Okay.
Conclusion.
Before you go to the conclusion, can I ask you your own thoughts and opinion on the learning contract that we gave you at the beginning of the summer semester, the learning contract? What are your thoughts and opinion?
أول شيء إنك أنت لما أعطيتنا الخطة إنك تحكي لنا شو رح ناخذ وكيف رح يكون تقسيم العلامات، هذا إشي كان كتير مهم إنه ومنيح لأنه كنا عارفين إيش رح نعمل في المساق فاهمين. وكان موزع إنه مثلا إشي على assignments إشي الكويزز فإنه كان توزيع مختلف من إشي لإشي فكان كتير منيح.
بس لسه أنت بتحكي على الخطة وأنا بطلت أسميها خطة صرت أسميها contract. عقد. It's a contract. بس يعني like هذا this contract, was it good or was it an effective tool that helped you to be more responsible for your own learning and time managing your time?
أكيد صعب.
See, I concluded from your presentation, self-independent learning or time management are two most important or crucial issues in distant learning. So learning contract has a positive impact on those two things. أثر إيجابا.
أكيد أثر إيجابي.
له أثر إيجابي learning. Okay. حلو. Thank you. شكرا. شو في كمان هلا conclusion.
Conclusion. It's a mutual responsibility for both the university and its students to ensure effective teaching and learning outcomes throughout this learning process. Good learning outcomes emphasize the application and integration of knowledge instead of focusing only on the coverage of the material. Students should be able to employ the use of material in class and, more importantly, in her or his practical life. Our report focused on using worldwide studies about the e-learning and connecting them to the ongoing situation here at An-Najah University. This helped us figure out all the aspects that could possibly be affecting both the quality of distance learning and students' education attainment, which will also help us to contribute to the enhance of learning process at An-Najah University. After reading different studies made by people around the world and conducting our own study, we have concluded the following. Studies have confirmed that the active teaching style can be more effective than the passive in terms of helping students understand subjects better. We have concluded from the survey that most An-Najah University instructors tend to use the passive teaching style. However, 84.8% of students prefer learning using the active style. It helps them to understand the course better. Although we got equal percentage regarding the tools that the students use for learning, we have discovered by analyzing individual responses that not all students take the advantage of all available learning resources. Time management may actually affect students' overall performance and educational attainment. It is a resource that each one of us possesses equally. Students that are able to manage their resources successfully might have a better chance of getting higher educational attainment. An-Najah University still faces issues with creating valid assessment methods. Students are against some of the solutions that the university has come up with in order to solve those issues.
Okay.
Recommendations.
Okay, so we created,
Recommendations.
yes. We came up with a couple recommendations according to all the issues we saw.
So Sarah, you came up with, that's innovation. You came up with, that's innovative learning. That's the beauty of learning. You come up with new ideas. You create something. You didn't copy paste. Good.
We actually took some ideas انه شفنا الاشياء اللي ممكن تحسن التعليم عنا وشفنا كمان الاشياء المشاكل اللي احنا بنواجهها فحاولنا ندور على اشياء بيستخدموها يعني بجامعات تانية وهيك وحاولنا نطبقها عنا انه اشي ممكن نطبقه. So the first recommendation was to create a supportive learning environment by continuously motivating and supporting students. This can be done using several techniques, such as involving students as active participants in lectures. Instructors should be enthusiastic about what they're teaching عشان to avoid dullness and lost interest.
Because it will have positive impact, positive reflect on the student interactivity.
Exactly.
If the teacher is enthusiastic about the subject, this will reflect positively on the student activities.
And it also reflects that students will love the course and would love to know more about the course instead of just being obligated and to do exams and.
Okay, I like point 3. Go ahead. Point 3.
Vary your teaching methods. Variety reawakens students' involvement in the course and their motivation.
This is what Jinan was talking about, like in the previous presentation, about the visual, learning style of the students.
Yes.
So the teacher teaching style should match with learning style. Jinan talked about 3 different learning styles اللي هن الأوديو والفيجوال والانثيتيك اللي هو السمعي والبصري والحركي. This is now a new challenge for the teacher, you know, which style to pick. So varying your teaching methods, you know, you teach in an audio, video, and وحركي. ما بصير يضل الأستاذ يضله بس في طريقة نمط واحد. لازم يغير في الأنماط عشان to meet all the learning styles of the students. لأنه الطلاب بالصف كل واحد عنده نمط مختلف. فبده يغير عشان يلائم to match all the learning styles of the students. This is a very nice point. So it's about the teaching style. Have you any recommendation about, do you have any recommendations about designing the learning, تصميم التعلم, designing the learning design?
Actually we just يعني حكينا انه ممكن يستخدموا tools زي discussions و debates و brainstorming و teamwork لأن اشياء كتير بتساعد الطلاب. يعني مثلا بتذكر سنة لو خاصة محاضراتك لما كنت خلينا نستخدم السوكريتيف وهاي الاشياء كتير ساعدت انه توصلنا المعلومة بطريقة احسن زي كأنه تحمسنا نصير ندرس المادة. ونفس الاشي ايام المدرسة كنا كتير نعمل ديبيتس وزي العاب بالصف وهيك، فكان الاشي كتير يساعد انك تفهم المادة احسن.
Yeah, you know, because since I'm teaching a digital native students, جيل digital, that means you need to use digital technologies to teach digital generations. You know, the matching. Digital learning that will match digital learning. I would like to thank you. Is if you want to add something more? ولا خلاص؟
في كمان 3 recommendations.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Another recommendation is to provide constructive feedback on assignments rather than just grading it. This helps students use criticism given by the instructor or constructor in strengthening his or her weaknesses. بدل ما بس انه يكون نعرف علامتنا وخلاص، كتير بيكون اشي منيح انه نشوف احنا وين عندنا نقاط ضعف او غلطنا وين بالضبط عشان المرة الجاي انه نصحح هذا الغلط ونعرف انه وين كانت المشكلة.
Yeah. That's very crucial, very important points, you know, especially the quizzes and the review after the quiz.
Exactly.
It should be enabled for you to learn. You need to learn from your mistakes. Feedback, you know, that's good. That's very important point.
Feedback is how students usually learn to grow.
صح. يعني بتثبت المعلومة. That was good. That was correct. هاي المعلومة تبعتي صح. وإذا كان عندك يعني wrong answers ولا شيء, you know the right answer and وبعدين بتثبتيها خلص. So you know where you went wrong and you know where you went right and you learn. You learn from your mistakes.
Listen.
Anything else?
هدول عشان cheating.
Prevent cheating is an important factor for validating students' assessments and evaluations. Therefore, the university could apply some of the following methods and tools to prevent cheating issues. First, restricting IP addresses. Using a software that will allow you to restrict access and authorize only certain IP addresses from entering the test. This prevents students from giving accesses to other people to perform their test on their behalf. Second, use a lockdown browser. Require students to lock down browser with online quizzes and tests. This is a custom setting that literally locks down, and the browser that displays the test or quiz, preventing students from copying or printing the questions or accessing any other websites or applications. Utilizing keystroke
That's safe.
verification.
We use the safe browser technique, right? You mean safe browser, the technique that we use in class. كنا نستخدمه.
No.
In my classes, in my quizzes, I used safe browser. We call it safe browser. خلاص, you only open the quiz and you cannot open anything else.
هيك.
صح?
صح.
Okay, that's safe browser. We have that. Okay, sure. What's the next tail?
Utilizing keystroke verification software, such as keystroke DNM, is perhaps one of the most common tech-based cheater prevention methods. It uses behavioral biometric analysis of typing labs to create a unique biometric profiles of users' typing behavior. Our adaptive machine learning algorithm then compares users' typing sequences with their profiles to confirm identities and to guarantee access is granted to only genuine account owners.
God, this is new. That's fourth generation technology, the DNA, keystroke DNA. I like that. Hello.
أنا شفت هالنقطة كتير حبيتها أنا الإنترنت.
Yeah, it's very nice. That's the future. Okay, what else?
Instructors should make efforts to design education experience and choose the teaching styles that fit the needs, goals, objectives of their students and the wanted learning outcomes. And finally, students should take full advantage of the e-learning experience and use all available learning resources to increase their academic achievement.
So it takes two. It's not only the teacher, it's not only the students, it's the interactive collaboration between the constructor and the student. Okay, Dalia?
Okay, بالضبط.
You should learn from Sarah. She corrected her language. Instead of saying instructor, she said constructor.
Okay.
Our facilitator. Maybe I would like to learn more about this graph. It's very nice, very important. Anything else?
خلصنا. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. الله يرضى عليكم. شكرا. That was very nice.